Hi. Say hi to the vlog. Say hi to the vlog. Hi. Look at our new addition to the family, guys. Look how adorable she is. Her name is Ria. Look how cute. She's literally 9 weeks old. We just got her 2 days ago. Oh, I can't get enough of her. So that is a different start to the video, you guys. This cat is literally just filling up my time. I look forward to coming home from work just to play with the cat. I look forward to waking up just to play with my cat. And it's literally my sister's cat. It's not even mine, but she's just so gorgeous. But anyway, I got a bit distracted there at the start of the video. I just want to show you guys the new family edition. But in today's video, I want to test out a new wax that actually one of you guys requested for me to test for you. And that's the Soy Luna wax that Cosy Owl sells. So I've never heard of this wax before. It's completely brand new. I've never tested it before, so if you have tested it out, then let me know down below. But basically, I already made the candles. I didn't want to make the candles with you because you already know how to make the candles. But the one thing that I really loved about this wax is the packaging that came with it. And literally, it's such a beautiful packaging that I posted a reel about it on my Instagram. But honestly, like, look at that packaging. It comes in this beautiful box, and you open it and you get the wax in this part of the box, and you also get instructions in this part of the box, which I find super helpful. So instead of me having to write down notes or having to go on the laptop just to remind me of the facts about the wax, I literally have it all right in front of me in the box, which is such a smart idea. It's just so different, honestly. And I was so happy. I found the wax super easy to work with. I'm honestly looking forward to burn testing it with you. So like I said, the candles are all ready and they have been curing for about 4 to 5 days. I believe it's 5 days now. Let me show you guys the candles and go through the results, and I'm gonna burn test it with you guys in today's video. Just bear with me a second, let me get the candles. So here are the candles. I literally have them in a tray. So I made, so I had 800 grams of wax in the sample box. Basically it made me 6 candles, but the last 2 candles that I made, it didn't fill it up right to the top. So I feel like if you are gonna get the 800 grams, I think it will make you 4 candles if you want to fill it up where you want your wax to sit. But these 2 candles basically sat a little bit under where I normally fill my wax up to. I normally fill it up to just about here, but I didn't get that one. I made 6 candles, which is absolutely fine. I was just really excited to test these candles out. But anyway, let's go through the results. So I'm gonna start off with this candle right here. So this, I used the Eco 8, and I used the Vintage and Vetiver Cosy Owl fragrance oil, and I also used the 8% fragrance load, and it's a 20 centiliter candle container. So if I come up close, you guys, as you can see, there's no pillaways on the jar, which is literally beautiful glass adhesion. So this is the Eco 8, and let me move over to the Eco 6, and again, beautiful glass adhesion, you guys. Look at that. I mean, honestly, and it's so fluffy, such fluffy, creamy white wax. It looks like I'm working with coconut wax, but soy wax. The next candle that I have here, I also used the same fragrance oil, Vintage and Vetiver, and I also used 2 different size wicks, which is the 2112 and the 2412. So this is the 2112, and I did have pillaways right here on the glass, and I did have you know, a bit of the wax just got stuck at the top of the wick. But other than that, you guys, can you not see how creamy that wax is? This is soy wax. This is not coconut wax. It literally blows my mind. And finally, the last 2 candles that I used is in a different fragrance oil because I didn't have enough. So I used oud, and I also have some pillaways on my candles right here. But again, I got beautiful tops, and I used TB wicks for these 2 candles. But I did test them at different temperatures. So let me hope that the hot throw is just as good and just as strong as the cold throw. Normally, you guys, I feel like I nail the cold throws. It's just the hot throws that are the ones I literally tend to struggle with, which I'm sure that you guys have a similar experience to me. It's just I rarely have any problems with cold throws because I do test different temperatures, high temperatures and middle temperatures, and medium to low temperatures for my essential oil candles. But when it comes down for me testing the hot throw, I'm just like, struggling, literally. But anyway, let me just get these candles lit up for you so we can test those out. Honestly, I'm just so excited, honestly. But where is my lighter? Should be somewhere here. There we go. Okay guys, so it's been an hour since these candles have been burning. This is all the information on both the candles, by the way. It's just the same scent. I heated the wax to 77 degrees Celsius, poured the fragrance oil at 60 degrees, and poured the wax into my candle containers at 55 degrees. And that's my 20 centiliter candle containers. And as you guys can see here, I'm using the TB wicks. And honestly, the TB wicks are literally my favorite wick series out of everyone. I thought it would be eco wicks, but honestly, I love my TB wicks. But they're looking really, really good. I think that they may be burning a little too fast because it's only been 1 hour and almost all the top is melted through. Or maybe because I couldn't fill these candles all the way to the top. That could be the case as well. But yeah, other than that, it actually looks really, really good, you guys. I'm actually very impressed. And oh, and of course, for the most important part, the hot throw is really, really good. So I only have 2 candles in the living room. And the living room, you guys, is the biggest space in my whole house. And honestly, it's just filled up the whole living room. And I'm very, very happy and impressed with that. But let's move on to the next candles. Okay, you guys, so these are the other set of candles that I made, and these are the 21 TCR and 2412 TCR wicks. The fragrance oils that I use is Vintage and Vetiver, if that's how we say it, and the wax, I heated up the wax to 74 degrees Celsius. I poured the fragrance oil at 66 degrees Celsius, and I also poured the wax into my candle containers at 61 degrees Celsius. And again, the TCR wicks are working fairly okay. I can see here I'm developing a slight mushrooming on my wick for 2112, but 2412, whoopsie, is also developing a small mushrooming, and it's also developed a melt pool. So okay, so these wicks are definitely a little bit big on the candle container. This is almost melted through as well, even though the 2112 is smaller than 2412. So maybe I needed to wick down, if that's the case. But basically that's how they look, and I can smell the fragrance very, very nicely. And normally when you smell, if you ever tried the smell from Cosy Owl, it smells very light. It's not an intense smell, and I could literally smell that, and I love it. It's very soft. It's almost like cashmere smell. It's very soft. It's not overpowering to your nose. You can smell that there's a fragrance in the room, but it's not one of those scents where you're like, oh wow, there's a really nice, you know, strong scent in the room. This is more like I can smell a very soft, very elegant almost smell in the room. This is the type of smell that I'm getting out of that candle. But honestly, very, very nice hot throw as well. Okay, so these are the candles that are in my parents' bedroom. So this is the Eco 6 and the Eco 8. So again, let's look at the wicks. I can't even see the wicks that well. Oh, there we go. So the wicks are looking really, really good. I'm not getting any mushrooming. The flame height is good. It's just, you guys, these candles, they're burning a little too fast for a first hour burn, or have I lost track of time or something? Like, I'm already getting a melt pool. I'm sure it hasn't been 2 hours. But this is the second candle as well. I don't have any mushrooming on the candle, which I'm very, very happy with. However, you guys, I cannot smell a hot throw on them, which may be because I've poured my fragrance at the wax when it's really, really hot, because I poured it at 80 degrees Celsius, and I also poured the wax into the candle container at 67 degrees Celsius, and I also heated the wax to 84 degrees Celsius. But I can't smell the fragrance as well as the ones that's in my bedroom. However, the Eco Wicks are doing really well. Okay, you guys, so that's the second hour burn. I think that the candles are definitely burning a little too fast. Most likely the wicks are really big because honestly the melt pool is just too deep for a 2-hour burn, to be quite honest. I didn't expect it to be that deep. I think TB8 is the smallest wick actually, so if it's not TB10 then it should be TB8. The oud fragrance oil, you guys, smells very strong, that I love. Like, you know fragrance oils like oud and these fragrances that have such a strong intense smell. These are the type of smells that I love to burn in such a big open space because it's got so much to go around. And moving on to the candles upstairs. Okay, so as for these candles, so that's in my bedroom, by the way. Again, I think that the melt pool are too big for a 2-hour burn. It shouldn't be that deep. I looked back at the footage, you guys, and literally I started burn testing these candles at 3 o'clock. It's literally 5 o'clock, so it's only been 2 hours. I have not messed up my burn testing hours in that sense, because I was wondering why they were burning too fast, but it's just the wicks, I'm guessing. So yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna have to wick down in that sense. But you guys, I feel like the 20 centiliter candle containers are so much more easier to wick than the 30 centiliters candle containers. I literally use 30 centiliters. I don't use see-through ones though. I use a different container, and I literally feel like the 30 centiliters are just so much harder to wick than the 20. I don't know if it's only me, but let me know if you agree with me down below or you've had the same struggles as me. These are the type of mushroomings, you guys, that I do not mind on the wick, because you can barely tell that that is mushrooming. That is it for this for these candles. Let's move on to the next ones. The Eco Wicks, I'm getting a higher flame than the TCR and the TBs, but it's still not a dangerous flame. It's a good height flame. Again, I still think that all the candles are burning a little too fast. I don't expect it to have such a big melt pool for a 2-hour burn. I'd expect the melt pool to just be developing now actually. But again, I can't smell the candles in this one. It could be because I poured my fragrance oil at a very high temperature, but that is the recommended temperature. Other than that, the Eco Wicks is working just fine. Okay, so I'm checking in for the 3rd hour burn. Honestly, I cannot explain to you enough how beautiful that oud smells like. Let's just focus a little bit more on the wicks. So the TB wicks are doing quite well, but I can see there is mushrooming building up. However, it's not a mushrooming that literally worries me, or I feel like, you know, where that wick is just completely not working because the mushrooming is really big. The mushrooming is very mild on the wick, so you can barely see it, and this is the type of mushrooming that I'm more than happy to welcome in my candles. The TB10 may be a little bit too big for my 20 centiliters, so I might actually try it with a TB8. Now, I don't have any wax left, obviously. I've used up all my 800 grams, but if that is a wax that has potential, and I can see it actually does have potential with the TB wicks and the Eco Wicks. So the TCR wicks, I'm a bit struggling to see the potential there because the mushrooming has developed a little bit quicker than the TB and the Eco. However, I can see that there is some potential for this wax. Honestly, I'm very happy with it so far, and I really like it, honestly. Let's move on to upstairs. Okay, so here are the TCR wicks. So like I said earlier on, that there is a lot more mushrooming on the TCR than there is on the TB and the Eco Wick. But again, the mushrooming is not visible. So I welcome this type of mushrooming, as long as the mushrooming doesn't get bigger as the candle burns through up until the end. So that I welcome. But if the mushrooming is going to get bigger and bigger as the candle burns, then obviously that is not a wick that I'm willing to keep in my candles. I definitely still think that the wicks are a little too big for my 20 centiliters, so I'm more than willing to actually wick down if I was to buy this wax again. The flame height is good, you guys. Even on the TB wicks, the flame height is good. It's not too high and it's not too low. It's honestly such a good height. And even when it dances or flickers here and there, it's not a consistent flicker. It's like literally steady the majority of the time, which I'm super happy with. Okay, so here's the next set of candles. This is the Eco Wicks. As you guys can see here, it's slightly more flickering on the Eco than the TB and the TCR. Now maybe that is because the window is open, to be honest, and the window is literally right next to this desk right here, so maybe that is the reason why. So I'm not going to pay too much attention on it, because to be honest, not every time we burn our candles the windows and the doors are closed. There's sometimes the windows and doors are open and there's always a breeze, but as you guys can see, you know, when it does flicker or dance, the flame height doesn't go high, where it's really dangerous. I've literally had that before, where the flame height literally goes above, like way above the candle container, and that is a dangerous flame. But to just zoom in on the wicks over here, they are developing mushrooming. Again, like on all three candles, there is some mushrooming developing, but again, it's not a mushrooming where I'm worried about. It's very tiny, it's barely visible. You can barely even see it on the camera unless you literally zoom in into the wick. Other than that, it's good. And again, I'm not getting a hot throw, honestly. That is it for that, and let's go back downstairs. Okay, so I am back. All the candles are burning, and just to kind of help you understand, I've decided to use 3 different types of wicks. So that's the Eco and the TB and the TCR. And the reason why is because I just want to see how 3 different types of wicks will work with the candles. So normally on the Cosy Owl website, they do advise that the Eco wicks and the wooden wicks are the best wicks to work with that wax. However, I do love testing different types of wicks, which they do recommend anyway, just to see what works best for your fragrance oil, for your wax, for your jar, and so on and so forth. So that is the reason why I decided to use 3 different sized wicks. Anyway, you guys, so I'm on the laptop right now at Cosy Owl's website, and again, the wax is called Soy Lunar Container Wax, and it also does come in pillar wax. So just some facts about the wax while the candles are burning. So Soy Lunar Wax is a soy blend that has been specifically formulated to be an easy to use soy wax for the home candle maker. It comes in a white palette form, making it easy to mount in a double boiler or a bain-marie, I don't know how to pronounce that. The wax offers a great hot and cold scent throw, allowing your chosen fragrance to naturally fill the room. Soy Lunar Wax suffers less with sweating in temperatures of up to 35 degrees, and that is just music to my ears, you guys. If you do not live in the UK, we have had the hottest heat wave where it literally reached 40 degrees. We have never experienced that in London. So the fact that they literally formulated this wax to have less sweating at high temperatures is literally amazing for anyone that lives in hotter countries or in countries that are getting hotter because of global warming. But honestly, it just sounds amazing to me compared to other waxes which can sometimes show sweating on the surface of the candle, which I agree, some soy waxes, coconut waxes even, you do get some sweating on the surface of the candle just because they can't handle high heat temperatures. And always when we do sell our candles, or candle makers, they normally do advise any customers or clients to keep the candles away from direct sunlight so the wax doesn't basically start sweating. I advise not to heat the wax above 90 degrees Celsius or heating for extended periods of time to avoid discoloration or damage of the wax. And waxes should be obviously stored in a cool, dry place. And you guys, if you watch my reel, I'm gonna put like a bit of a sneak peek of my reel on here just so you guys can see how soft that wax was melting in between my fingers. It's very, very soft, creamy wax. Honestly, it's the first soy wax that literally creamed in my hands like that, other than the wax from London Luxury Supplies actually, which was the S10 soy wax, I think, which was creamy. But the Soy Lunar Wax was literally impressed me from the packaging, from the way the wax was working with me, from how easy it is to pour it. And I'll show you some recordings of how beautiful it literally poured into my candle container. Super easy, super soft. I loved it. We recommend a fragrance load of 6 to 8%. However, this wax can take up to 10%. I always use 8% fragrance load. I don't ever feel the need to have more. Sometimes we think the more fragrance load, the hotter the better the scent throw, but it does not work like that. Honestly, it really depends on your wax, on your container, on the wick, and just the overall testing of your candles. Okay, and it also does recommend here to preheating your containers. Honestly, I don't preheat my containers anymore. I did a lot at the very start of my candle making journey where I used to preheat my candles just to avoid any pillaways on my candle. But honestly, you guys, during really cold temperatures, your candle may pull away from the jar, and honestly it's absolutely fine, you guys. If you go into any candle store or into any, you know, shops that sell candles, you will see the majority of the candles have pullaways from the jar. It's absolutely normal. So honestly, it's not even something that I think about anymore. If it happens, I let it happen. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they do recommend that the best wicks suited for Soy Luna wax, the Eco range and the wooden wick range. And they also recommend pouring the candles at 65 degrees and slowly cooling the candles at a room temperature. Avoid cool surfaces and drafts when candle is setting. Lastly, Soy Luna container wax is biodegradable, vegan friendly, no animal products are used in the manufacturing of this wax, and no testing on animals has been carried out during the manufacturing process. And that is all the facts that you need to know about the wax. I literally pulled out the most important ones that might stand out to you. And if you are interested in reading more into details, just in case you guys got lost a little bit there, then I'll link that underneath the video so you guys can have a read for yourself. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut this video a little bit shorter. We're gonna have to miss 1 hour of the burn test just because my camera is literally dying. I filmed a little bit too much today, so the camera is literally about to die on me. But honestly, I don't think there's much going to change in regards to how it's burning. I feel like all the wicks are doing really well. They have developed a slight mushrooming on all of the wicks, but I don't feel like it's a mushrooming where I'm really worried about. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Honestly, overall, I'm very happy with the wax. I love that it's so soft. I love that it was so easy to work with. I love that you can pour it at a very high temperature and at a low temperature. And I also realized that the wax actually cools down really fast, so it doesn't take a long time to cool down. So literally by the time I literally mix it, it's already like at 60 degrees. From 80 degrees to 60 degrees is a big jump, literally just for mixing in 2 minutes. Honestly loved working with it, and that's only my first impressions. I've, you know, I don't remember having such a, you know, such a great impression about a wax before. So thank you very much for requesting for me to film this video for you. I'd love for you guys to request even more videos for me, because sometimes I do get stuck and I'm not too sure what to film for you. I don't know what you'd be interested in, so I would love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below so I know what to film for you. But I am going to end today's video right here and say thank you very much for watching. Please make sure that you click on that subscribe button down below, give this video a huge thumbs up, comment down below on what videos you'd like to see from me in the future, and of course don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you guys can get notified every time I post a new video. With that said, have a lovely week and I'll see you guys soon. I could literally watch her play all day. She loves playing inside this Amazon box.